and people say video games are well written.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 funniest video games. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we'll be looking at what we consider to be the funniest and most delightful video games of all time. Obviously, humor is subjective, so you might not find them funny, but come on. Also, just to be clear, we're ranking these video games based on how funny they are, not the quality of the games themselves.
I devised a much more elaborate trap further ahead for when you got through this easy one.
Number 10, Deadpool.
And the crowd goes wild!
When the Deadpool movie was released in 2016, mainstream audiences finally got a glimpse of the offbeat and downright offensive humor that Deadpool has had to offer through his quips and ridiculous behavior. However, diehard fans already got a fantastic taste of this sense of humor from the 2013 video game.
This is bullshit. A script? Like some dingus word writer's gonna know better than me how to show how amazing I am.
While it certainly wasn't the most awesome game ever like Deadpool wanted, it was filled with some awesome moments of comedy, including constant fourth wall breaking, and Deadpool himself hiring voice actor Nolan North to portray him, who, we have to say, does quite a respectable job.
Haha! There we go. Now we're talking.
The game stayed true to the comics and the character, making this a respectable entry in the Deadpool universe.
Maybe it's an alternative type of Deadpool. You know, it's somebody that's like, forget the boobs, let's just go for pecs.
Number 9, Octodad, Dadliest Catch. Okay, let's give you a brief synopsis of the game, and you tell us if it sounds worth playing. You control an octopus who is dressed in human clothing, and you have to hide the fact that you're actually an octopus by performing the mundane tasks of a suburban father. If that doesn't sound funny to you, then I guess just get out. While the second half of the game certainly faltered in the humor department, the first half is filled with cartoonish and innocent laughs as you flail around in your human suit while trying to combat the intentionally annoying controls. It's really a great idea for a video game, and certainly worth a few hearty guffaws.
Oh, hush you.
Number 8, Brütal Legend.
There's no way to really ride these things.
Not true. There's all you do it all the time.
Jack Black, Tim Curry, and Ozzy Osbourne together in one game? You literally can't go wrong. The game is right up Black's alley, as it follows his character, Eddie Riggs, as he's transported to another dimension that is modeled heavily after heavy metal album cover art and is filled with enemies that must be defeated with a magical guitar. If that sounds absolutely zany, that's because it is. Yet the talented voice cast gives it their all, especially Jack Black. Their committed performances help the game become something truly special, filled with memorable, well-written characters and some gun-busting one-liners. Who knew heavy metal musicians could be so funny? Well, Tim Schafer did, apparently.
I keep the trash off the stage.
Number 7, Goat Simulator. The title of this game alone is enough to warrant a chuckle or two, but surprisingly the gameplay transcends the title at least a little. The game gives players control of a goat and an open world, and tells them to go nuts. Playing as the goat really shouldn't be this much fun, but due to the wacky hijinks you get into, like running in slow motion or entering ragdoll mode, it's actually a blast. The creative mind will probably find the most enjoyment out of this title, but you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who doesn't laugh at least a little at a ragdoll goat being launched through the air by a trampoline. Number 6, The Secret of Monkey Island.
Woof.
Almost any adventure game developed by LucasArts is bound to be a rip-roaring good time, and Monkey Island is certainly no exception. The game's writing and characters are both top-notch, featuring some of the funniest one-liners you'll see in video games and memorable characters galore, many of which like to spout random movie references. The game utilizes a ton of different humor styles throughout, including the aforementioned pop culture spoofs, clever wordplay, general goofiness, and offbeat humor like placing a trademark symbol at every location name. It's also packed to the gills with charm and personality, so playing it is an absolute treat.
Root beer? Oh boy! I love root beer!
Number 5, Portal 2.
Just tell me, just say yes. Okay, what you're doing there is jumping. You just jumped.
Who knew that a puzzle video game could be so darn funny? What Portal succeeded at in terms of writing and characters, the sequel ramped up to 11, creating some of the most memorable character-based interactions that a game has to offer. With brilliant characters like Cave Johnson and GLaDOS, the game is never without a clever line or situation.
You're not just a regular moron. You're designed to be a moron.
These characters would of course be nothing without the stellar voice acting that helped to create them, with Stephen Merchant's performance as Wheatley alone enough to warrant this game a spot on this list. With Portal 2, you come for the puzzles, but stay for the wit.
Just in case this pit isn't actually bottomless, do you think maybe you could unstrap one of those long fall boots of yours and shove me into it?
Number 4, Sam and Max Hit the Road.
I enjoyed the cheesy retro ambiance. What the hell are you talking about, Max?
Another stellar game from LucasArts. Sam and Max Hit the Road is a masterclass in voice acting. Not only did the game employ some terrific writing in the form of fully fledged wacky characters and amazing wordplay, but the voice talents fit the characters to a T.
He's not a real guy, Sam. Can I keep his head for a souvenir?
There's nothing quite like a character that revels in his own sense of violence, eh? While games today may have better production value and are far more complex, there's nothing quite like the charm of spending hours with a terrific 1990s LucasArts game.
Me and my partner want to ride the cone of tragedy. That's right, we've lost our will to live.
Number 3, Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Either bring me back me missing cogs,
You don't have to shout.
I'm deaf.
Don't be fooled by the cute graphics and cuddly looking squirrel. This is not a game for kids, and the type of humor throughout is exactly why. The game deploys basically every type of humor ever invented in order to get a chuckle out of you, including fart jokes, sex jokes, pop culture spoofs, more sex jokes, fourth wall breaking, poop jokes, gaming tropes references, and sex jokes.
Put it on, I like it like that. Oh.
If a giant pile of poop singing about how he's gonna throw his shit at you doesn't sound funny, then the game probably isn't for you. But if it does sound funny, then we're just getting started. Also, it's got a lot of sex jokes. Did we say that?
Oh, hang on. I think I got it on the wrong way round.
Black bugger you out. What you doing?
Number 2, Surgeon Simulator 2013. Some games are funny because of their writing, and others are funny through design. Enter Surgeon Simulator 2013. The premise is simple. You perform surgery, but it's literally in the execution where the laughs are found. And we do mean execution. The game's controls create a magnitude of hilarious situations for you to screw up, like flailing your arms in a desperate attempt to take out a heart, or slicing through your patient's face with a scalpel. Or maybe you could accidentally drop a running drill into your patient's chest cavity. Or maybe you'll clumsily inject yourself with drugs and do the rest of the procedure high out of your mind. Regardless of how you screw it up, you're guaranteed to screw it up, and it will be hilarious. Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Okay, you're free to go.
Thanks, Bernard.
Yes, thank you, naive human.
So he's really kidnapping children and stealing their brains to make weapons.
Yes! Isn't that great?
What? How is that great?
Number 1, South Park, The Stick of Truth.
What could have come into contact with it in the trash can of an abortion clinic? Oh my God.
It's South Park in perfect video game form. How can this not be number 1? Unlike most games based off licensed material, this game spared no expense in production quality. All of the beloved characters are accounted for and voiced by their actual actors. The writing is as sharp and satirical as it's ever been, and the humor was perfectly offensive.
You entered douchebag, is that correct?
Not only is it a fantastic game for newcomers, but also for longtime South Park fans, as the game contains a myriad of references and callbacks to the show's history that's sure to make any fan giddy. The game really was like playing an interactive episode of South Park, and it doesn't get any funnier than that.
We're gonna search for underpants. We won't stop until we have underpants. Yum, tum, yummy, tum,
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.